Cumberland County, the best area of rotation. This is the Cumberland and Clinton County line right there. And right where we see these greens, this is our rotation detector. Some of these storms that have been moving through Middle Tennessee earlier today, we were getting some of these red-brown colors indicating some stronger rotation. But for this storm up here in southern Kentucky, we're just not really getting any of that. This is just those lighter shades of green. So could still be seeing some rotation. That severe thunderstorm, again, capable of producing a tornado for parts of our southeastern counties in southern Kentucky, but otherwise not expecting a whole lot. But you just got to play it safe, remain in your safe place until that threat has just completely passed your area. So we're going to stay here with you and just let you know once that threat has finally moved on from your area. Again, the best rotation right here on the Cumberland and Clinton County line. At 12:31 at the current time, we have been live a lot tonight. We had this strong round of severe thunderstorms that have been moving through. These have been moving in west. I was watching these cross over the Mississippi River. The whole entire line was either tornado warned or severe thunderstorm warned, and that's exactly what we're still seeing. This whole entire line still tornado warned or severe thunderstorm warned. Fortunately for us here in Middle Tennessee, we just have severe thunderstorm warnings. I say fortunately just because it's not tornado warnings, but still, even with the winds that we've been getting and any of these yellow flashing polygons, we're talking 60, 70, 75 mile an hour wind gusts possible with some of those storms. So even if you're not in an actual tornado warning, some of these winds inside of these yellow flashing polygons, those are the severe thunderstorm warnings, they could still be producing winds that are equivalent to low wind tornado strength. So you just got to take all of this seriously. We knew this going in for several days now, that this was going to be a pretty strong system that was making its way here across Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky, and it definitely verified. Damaging wind was always the main concern with this, and we knew the tornado threat was a little bit lower, and that's pretty much how today has played out. I've seen some reports across Middle Tennessee of some wind damage. I'm not 100% certain if we had any touchdowns. We did have several tornado warnings that were issued. We may have seen a couple of brief tornadoes. We won't know that until a little bit later, though. The National Weather Service is going to send some of their crews out at some point in the near future to kind of maybe go survey some of those places, and we'll see if any of the damage that we were seeing was from any sort of actual tornado. But really, it's on the plateau now. It moved into our western counties around probably 7, 8 o'clock this evening around the Tennessee River, and it just kept on moving to the east, moved into the Nashville area about 10 to 10:30. And now it has quickly moved out a little bit further east, and now it's over here on the plateau. And you can see this is the leading edge of that line. So all these reds and oranges that you're seeing right there on the radar indicating very heavy rainfall. We have seen some of these storms as they've been moving across Middle Tennessee, dropping 7.5 inches of rain. That's the rain rate per hour, 7.5 inches. These storms aren't staying in one place, but if they were staying in one place, that's how much rain we would be seeing. Fortunately, these storms are moving quick, so flooding is not an issue with any of this. But very windy here along the plateau now. This is going to take a little bit longer to finally make its way off the plateau. We'll say about 1:30, 2 o'clock probably before most of that can work its way off the plateau. I will say that you're kind of seeing just a little bit of a bow right here develop on the radar, and when we see that it's indicating some stronger winds that are kind of coming into this. And you can see how that kind of bows out right there a little bit. But this is what we're watching right here, and it appears that they have trimmed back that tornado warning. They have. So this is now still just for the far eastern edge of Cumberland County, and then parts of a good bit of Clinton County still included within that tornado warning. So you just need to stay in your safe place, because if there isn't a tornado on the ground, again, that severe thunderstorm is very capable of producing one. So just stay in your safe place until that tornado warning is up. We'll give you the all clear when it's good to come out of your safe place right there. But what I was saying was, this is the bow, and then sometimes at the top and the bottoms of the bows, there's just a little bit of rotation that can develop, and that may be what we have going on right here. But some stronger winds with this. We'll put this on, and you can see where the stronger winds are set up right here, kind of on those darker red pixels and the lighter red pixels. This is where that leading edge of that severe thunderstorm threat is. And then once this main line passes your area, you don't have anything else to worry about as far as any sort of severe weather goes for the rest of the night. You'll still get some rain. You still may hear some rumbles of thunder. No severe weather threat. It's also probably going to stay pretty windy, but these aren't going to be severe thunderstorm winds. These are just the regular old winds that we've been talking about that have been covered by that wind advisory. So we'll just back up, kind of zoom out a little bit, reset. If you're just now tuning in, the current time is 12:35, early Monday morning now. This line of storms moving into our western counties. earlier this evening, or early Sunday evening, by about 7, 8 o'clock over there into our western counties, and then they just kept on moving east. We had some tornado warnings that were issued here in Middle Tennessee a little bit earlier, but now this is all just severe thunderstorm warned, and this is exactly what we were thinking this was going to do. Still shaping up to be a damaging wind event. And with these systems, they can happen a good bit here in Middle Tennessee. This is called a QLCS, so it's a line, but there's some slight breaks in it. It's not a perfectly defined line that comes through. And with these on the leading edge, you can sometimes get some brief, quick spin-up tornadoes, and that may be what we've seen in a couple of spots here in Middle Tennessee. Usually the tornadoes, when we get some that are associated with this type of system, they're usually shorter lived and also not as strong. So we may have seen a little bit of that. Again, we'll have to wait for confirmation on any sort of damage surveys to know for sure if anybody got any pictures of them. But right now, we're still just monitoring heavy rain and heavy wind for a lot of Middle Tennessee and also parts of southern Kentucky too. This is going to be pushing off the plateau here in about probably an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. But you can see that National Weather Service has been able to clip back a lot of our counties from this tornado watch. A lot of these areas along and west of Interstate 65. If you live in one of those counties, so again, here's Interstate 65 just to get your bearings straight. But anywhere from Interstate 65 west of that, you are all clear. You have no more threat that you have to worry about for the rest of the night. For the plateau though, all these counties that are highlighted in yellow, that tornado watch is going to remain in effect for those spots until 3 o'clock in the morning, so about 2.5 hours or so still remaining on that. But I think a lot of the activity should be out of here, we'll say, by about 1:30 to 2 o'clock. I'm going to switch over here too. I'll see if I have my future track model that I could. Let me bring this up real quick if I have time. I'm going to bring up this model and just kind of take it out and show you what we're looking at for the rest of the night. I will say though that while I'm getting this pulled up, if a tornado warning is issued for your area, just make sure you get to the lowest floor of whatever building you're in and put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as you can. All right, I got to change a couple of things real quick, and I'm going to pull this out to when this should be exiting off of the plateau. And so this model right here, let's see, I'm working on a small screen, but I'd say by about 2 o'clock or so, this is going to be, I'll move my map over so you can see it better, but this is going to be that leading edge that we're watching move on the plateau right now. Once this main line is past your area, you're done. You're out of the threat. That's why they've been able to clear those counties out of that tornado watch. But this is the main line, and this is 2 a.m. right here, the 2 a.m. Monday morning picture, and that's when that should be out of our viewing area. So we may have about another hour and a half or so where we could get some of these intense winds, some severe thunderstorm warnings. The tornado threat is going to be very low. Just can't 100% rule it out for some of our counties right there along the plateau. I'm going to go back over here to the National Weather Service chat and just see if the National Weather Service office in Louisville, those were the meteorologists up there who issued this tornado warning. This is in their coverage area. I'm going to see if they have any updates on this. Let's see. Not seeing any updates on this tornado warning that's in effect for parts of southern Kentucky. So we're going to go back over here, put you on the radar view, and just show you what's going on. We have this tornado warning that's in effect. This was issued probably 15, 20 minutes or so ago for extreme southeastern portions of southern Kentucky. Albany is included in this tornado warning right now. This is for Clinton County. Until 1 a.m. So another 20 minutes left on this tornado warning right here. It may be out of the county, or it's going to be very, very close to the far western edge of Clinton County by about 1. So that's why they're keeping that tornado warning going that long. These storms have all been moving pretty quickly today, about 50 miles an hour or so for this storm right here. So not going to take a whole lot longer before this finally crosses out of Clinton County. And we're going to look too at our shear tracker. And I can also say that if you're in southeastern parts of Cumberland County, Kentucky, that area of rotation has already passed your area too. So you're still included in that polygon, but as soon as the National Weather Service in Louisville updates that tornado warning right there, you'll no longer be included in that because the main area of concern has now passed east of your area. So if you were in your safe place in parts of southeastern Cumberland County, it is all clear for you to get out of your safe place right now. You may be still seeing some heavy rain, but as far as that best rotation, that has now moved out east past your area. And so now we're looking at the main area of concern right here, still in central portions of Clinton County, still included within that tornado warning. So if you're around Cartwright, Marlow, Snow, Alpha, Narville, Cumberland City up here in Clinton County, Savage, Albany, you still need to be in your safe place. Just stick it out for a little bit longer. I'm not seeing extremely good rotation, but it has started. Maybe whenever we get these greens that kind of start to pop up that lighter shade of green, that's indicating that it's slightly stronger than what we were looking at just a little bit earlier, where it was just those darker shades of green. So definitely still that severe thunderstorm canceling with that right there. I'm going to switch back over here and just look at some of the, let's see. Okay, it looks like I want to make sure that I'm on the right tornado warning, but we're just going to stick with this until I see it leave our computer. So just go ahead and stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. If you are in, okay, so this tornado, there's a few tornado warnings that we have going on. I was just trying to make sure that I was on the right tornado warning. This is the tornado warning that's in our viewing area, Clinton County. This one will remain in effect, it looks like, until 1 a.m. So 12:41 is our current time, at 19 more minutes on this tornado warning right here. The National Weather Service offices that have been issuing all these warnings have really had their hands full today. This has been a very busy day. This line has been very strong as it's been moving through. Severe wind gusts, like we were talking earlier, 70, 75 miles an hour that have been possible with a lot of these storms. Very heavy rain, and there's been a lot of lightning. We were showing you some of the live cameras from a little bit earlier on when we were cutting in for those tornado warnings that we had here in Middle Tennessee, and every second it was just lightning flash and lightning flash. These storms have been electric. They have been bringing in some very heavy rain and some very strong winds too, and we may have had a tornado or two. There were some signs on a radar that made the National Weather Service offices that cover our viewing area, particularly Nashville, issue a couple of tornado warnings. Don't have any confirmation yet though that we have had any actual touchdowns, but when we're looking at these tornado warnings and we're showing you these, you just got to play it safe, and if a tornado warning gets issued for your area, you just need to go ahead and get to your safe place. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing any updates, and just check our tornado watch map. Okay, so we're still seeing not many of our counties remain in this tornado watch. It's just these far eastern counties, Lincoln, Moore, and Franklin counties still included in that tornado watch as well. We'll see what the storms are looking like down there. I'll say Lincoln and Moore counties, that threat is over with. I don't see any more threat in Lincoln and Moore counties. And Franklin County still have that severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to go until 1:15. So Franklin County, obviously that severe threat is still there. But once this main line passes, you are all good. So they are going to go ahead and continue this tornado warning. Once it pushes outside of our viewing area, they'll keep this going until 1:15 on into Wayne County, Kentucky. But that is outside of our viewing area. Clinton County is in our viewing area though, and that's why we are on air right now. There is still that tornado warning. And we're still seeing some rotation with this. It's not as tight as some of the rotation that was moving through parts of Middle Tennessee earlier, but you can still see our rotation detector is still picking this up. This is mainly for now central and eastern parts of Clinton County up here in southern Kentucky. I'm just switching back and forth between a few different products. This is one of our wind products. This can kind of show us a better picture on when we have some of the rotation. Like we were talking earlier too, the greens are the winds that are going towards the radar, and the red pixels are the winds that are going away from the radar. So just kind of seeing where we may have a little bit of the rotation. It still just looks like it's up here mainly in the northeastern, kind of eastern portions of Clinton County, where we still have more of these greens popping up. So this is the new radar image, just updated 12:44 our current time now, and it's going to be this area right here to the east of Marlow. This is really going to be on the Kentucky or the Clinton County, Kentucky and Wayne County, Kentucky line, right there on the county line. That's where we're seeing the best area of rotation, and so that's why the National Weather Service from Louisville, the ones who issued this tornado warning, are just going to let that tornado warning hold. It's set to expire at 1 o'clock, so in about 15 minutes, but this storm is moving pretty quickly, so it may be able to get canceled a little bit earlier than 1 o'clock once it leaves Clinton County and moves over into Wayne County. I'll check back and see if I'm missing any updates from the National Weather Service in Louisville. It does not appear that any more updates are coming in on that, so we're just going to continue to stay on air with you for at least about another 10-15 minutes or so until this area right here, which is the area that we're watching up here in Clinton County. I'm going to pop it back over here just so it says Clinton County right here. This is our viewing area. This tornado warning polygon, this is not our viewing area. So once this crosses over Clinton County, everybody in our viewing area, at least in southern Kentucky, with this particular storm is going to be all in the clear. But if you're in the eastern parts of Clinton County, you just need to go ahead and hang out in your safe place for a little bit longer. Not going to have to be there much longer. This should be crossing over by about 1 a.m., maybe even a little bit sooner than that, maybe about 12:55. So just hang in there for about another 10 to 15 minutes. That way you're entirely safe, even if there's not a tornado warning or a tornado on the ground. Just go ahead and play it safe and treat it like there is, because there definitely could be. These severe thunderstorms, when we get these systems moving through, they're always going to be capable of producing some of those brief, just a quick spin up tornadoes right there on the leading edge. And you can see that this product right here, it picks out some of the areas of the higher wind, and this is where the highest wind is, right here on the plateau. All of that, ahead of that, is severe thunderstorm warned. That is that leading edge of this strong line that has been moving through. Looks like we just had another radar update, so we're going to go back up here. And now we are talking the extreme portions of Clinton County where we could be seeing some of that rotation. This is going to be right here on the Clinton County line and Wayne County line up here in parts of the far southeastern portions of our viewing area, at least in southern Kentucky. We'll see. I'm just going to back out too and reset, because that is just about to cross out of our viewing area. Very heavy rainfall too with that storm that's moving right into eastern parts of Clinton County. All of these pinks indicating very heavy rainfall. Might even be seeing a little bit of hail with that. We had some hail reports with some of these storms as they move through Middle Tennessee. Hail was never the main threat for today, but some of these storms did produce some hail. It wasn't huge, but we got several reports of some pea-sized hail. I did see a report or two of $half sized hail. That's one of the biggest reports that I've seen, though, from the night with this round of storms. We'll just kind of reset a little bit, though, to show you what we're looking at, take you a wider view. This is that leading edge of that the strong line that is moving through. And once this line moves through your area, you are all good as far as any sort of severe weather goes. So I'm going to turn the lightning back on. I had to turn this off a little bit earlier just because these storms were producing so much lightning as they were moving into Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky earlier in the evening. I just had to turn it off because you couldn't really see anything. There were so many lightning bolt indicators popping up. But this is the main line right here. Behind this, we're just looking at some showers. We may see just a couple of thunderstorms. So you can see just a few thunderstorms here and there across central portions of Middle Tennessee. But by far, the heaviest activity is going to be right here on the plateau. This is going to be moving on into the eastern portions of Putnam County, just now moving into the western edge of Cumberland County. So Crossville, you're not seeing really any heavy rain right now, but you will be here in just a little bit. This is Crossville right here, just some light showers going on. Here's Interstate 40. And then we have right over here in the western edge of Cumberland County, some of the heavier rainfall and some pretty strong winds that are still with that. Cumberland County is included within that severe thunderstorm warning too. That severe thunderstorm warning is set to run until 1:45. So I think by about 2 a.m. or so, most of this activity should be pushing off of the plateau. and then moving out of our viewing area and moving over into parts of East Tennessee. I'm going to go back up here to this tornado warning that we have, and okay, sweet, perfect timing. That rotation, I've been saying that it was on the very far eastern edge of Clinton County. Well, now the National Weather Service office in Louisville, Kentucky, who issued this tornado warning, this is their coverage area, they went ahead and clipped out Clinton County from that, and now it is only for Wayne County, Kentucky, which is not included in our viewing area. So everybody in our viewing area, no tornado warning is in effect any longer. We still have that line of severe thunderstorms that is moving on the plateau. So if you're in areas like really Cumberland County, still has to go all the way through Cumberland County. It's just now moving into the western side of Cumberland County. So just stay weather aware. It's going to get windy. It's going to get really windy. Just can't 100% rule out a brief spin up tornado. I'll be here though if any tornado warning is issued for our area, be able to hop back on air and just give you the most updated information on that. But as it stands right now, no more tornado warning for anywhere in our viewing area. Can't 100% rule it out though for at least about the next hour or two. But right now we are all good. So as it stands right now, we're going to go ahead and return you to regular programming.